Could you imagine if Royce Lewis, Hunter Green, Mackenzie Gore, and every other high school player hadn't been allowed to be drafted in June's MLB first-year player draft?
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother.
Hey yo, what's going on, guys? It's Eli, and today we're going to be looking at the MLB draft and just how drastically it would be changed if players had to go to 1 year of college and then they would be eligible to be drafted. This is how the NBA draft works, so I want to look at how the MLB would do under the same standards. And to give you a brief overview, the 2017 MLB draft saw 12 high school players get drafted in the first round, 16 Division I players get drafted in the first round, and 2 junior college players get drafted in the first round. First, let's take the rules of the current MLB draft standards so we can get a basis of just how much the rules will be changed. So to be eligible for the MLB draft, high school players must be graduated and not attended any college, or a player that drops out of school must be out of school for at least 1 year. For college players, they must have completed junior or senior year or be at least 21 years old. And for junior college and community college players, the number of years does not matter. The NBA draft rules are as followed. Players must be 19 years old during the draft calendar year, and at least 1 season has passed since graduation of high school. A player must declare his eligibility 60 days before draft. Players are automatically eligible if a United States player completes college eligibility or international player turns 22 by December 31st. An American player who signs a contract and plays for an international team is automatically eligible by the age of 19. No player is eligible for more than 2 drafts, and player loses college eligibility if agent is hired or declares for draft twice. So what some NBA players do is that they go to play overseas after high school for 1 year and make money and then get drafted. Most notably, Brandon Jennings and Terrence Ferguson have done this. So now that we have the draft rules out of place, let's look at some of the high school players who got drafted in the first round. How would 1 year in college change them, and would they still put up numbers like Hunter Green's .075 ERA and 43 Ks in 28 innings, or would their stats significantly decrease and have to adjust for a couple of years playing at a much higher collegiate level? The 6th overall pick in this past year's draft, Austin Beck, a high school outfielder from North Carolina, finished his senior season on May 16th batting .590, had an on-base percentage of .700, and hit 12 home runs. Austin Beck then signed with the A's on June 20th and started his professional career with the rookie ball Arizona Athletics, and through his first 20 games he's batting .182 with no home runs. On the other hand, the 9th overall pick, Keston Hiura, batted .442 in his junior season at UC Irvine, and in 27 minor league games he is batting .423. Nothing would change for JUCO players, as in junior college you can get drafted after either your first or second year. But that begs the question, if you can get drafted after your first year at Division I school, would a great deal of very talented players still attend junior college schools like Chipola, who had 11 draft picks in this past year's draft? Of the 16 Division I players drafted in the first round of the 2017 MLB draft, 9 of them were never previously drafted, and the other 7 were drafted as seniors in high school, and the highest pick of those 7 guys was Tanner Houck, who was drafted in the 12th round of the 2014 MLB draft. How would the 2016 MLB draft have worked out under the rules that any players eligible for the draft having played 1 year of collegiate baseball at any level? The 1, 3, 4, and 7 pick were all high school guys, so they would have to go to the college they signed to play with. But would that mean that the 2nd overall pick, Nick Senzel, a third baseman from the University of Tennessee, would be taken number 1? Not exactly. The Collegiate National Player of the Year batted .369, had 18 jacks, compared to Senzel's 8 home runs and .352 batting average. So why didn't the National Player of the Year get drafted in front of Senzel? Well, because Clemson outfielder Seth Beer was a freshman when he was National Player of the Year in 2016. So after a monstrous freshman season, if allowed, Seth Beer would have no doubt elected to go into the MLB draft. But in Beer's sophomore season, he batted .297 and hit 2 less home runs. So if Beer would have been in the 2016 MLB draft, he would have been a locked top 5 overall pick. But if in the 2018 season his numbers decline more, he will very likely not be a top 10 overall pick. This same situation happened to Vanderbilt outfielder and the 23rd overall pick in the 2017 MLB draft, Jaron Kendall, who many thought would be the first overall pick in the 2017 MLB draft going into the 2017 season, and definitely a top 5 pick. But in his junior season, his average decreased and his strikeouts increased, so he fell down to the 23rd pick. Let's take a look at the 2015 first overall pick, Dansby Swanson, who was drafted after his junior season at Vanderbilt. If allowed, you would think that Swanson would have elected to be drafted after his freshman season. but with a 188 batting average and only 16 at-bats, the freshman version of Dansby Swanson was no first overall pick. So now that we've seen how the numbers matter for where you get drafted, is all that matters your junior season stats? It seems like that is very close to the truth, which is incredibly unfair and not a smart evaluation. Being eligible to be drafted after any season seems a great deal fairer for the players. So what would happen if you had to go to college in order to be in the MLB draft? The format of drafting would be the same, but what would likely happen is the unpredictability would go down. As the MLB draft is the most unpredictable draft in all of sports, if the playing field was evened out as everyone was playing in college, then major busts wouldn't be as likely. Although drafting high school players is a higher risk, the reward is also higher, as only 4 of the top 15 MLB players going into the 2017 season by MLB Network went to college. This also begs the question, why is the MLB draft so unpredictable? That question will be answered soon, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Hold on, hold